Hello there, Seraph17 once again. This is my Kingdom Hearts 2 Critical Difficulty video walkthrough. This is the Land of Dragons Revisited, and we're back again. This time we're going to be here for a slightly longer duration as we do the story progression, and we're also going to be fighting an aerial boss that can either be really quick and easy, or kind of awkward and not very fun. And it all depends on whether or not you get on his horn. And it's one of those things where, if there was a reaction command to get you back on the creature's head when you fell off, if it was a really quick one and you have to have good reflexes to do it, it might have been a much better fight. But at the same time, it comes at the cost of perhaps difficulty. And the way I look at it is, when you fall off, it's your punishment for not managing your space correctly on top of the boss. So if they were to give you a reaction command, it would probably mitigate a lot of the finesse of the fight. That being said, a large percentage of people who play Kingdom Hearts do not play it with finesse. They just bash X a lot until things die. And every so often they'll use a magic spell or they'll heal. You know, it's kind of the way that I'm playing it at this moment in time. The only way that mine's even remotely different is I'm doing the square combos to launch and do additional damage and things. And every so often I'm using guard, and later on when I realise just the sheer value of the move that is reflect, I'll be using that. But there isn't a lot of grace required of you with these games until you start playing things like Critical Mode and Critical Mode Level 1. So, especially folks who've come from playing it back in the day, you know, your Kingdom Hearts mentality has always been to have fun and get in there and start swinging your Keyblade. Or it was for me and a lot of my friends, because the only real times that you needed to deviate from that plan was against some of the additional super bosses, which I always found Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 2 to be a pretty disappointing fight, but I'm going to go back to him on Critical Mode and maybe he'll give me more challenge than he did on Proud. But we'll see, and hopefully you'll see as well. However, I'm currently still doing Final Fantasy X at this moment before I go back. That right there was a transition to get rid of a bunch of backtracking I made to go in a different direction to see if there was anything up there. Turns out there was just more enemies and nothing to pick up, so I didn't want to leave it in the walkthrough for the people who get frustrated about that kind of stuff, and then we can get you back to where you need to be. So as soon as you go towards the Imperial area, you're going to be in this fight here, and this is quite a dangerous fight. There's the guys who have hyper armor, who spin the crazy lances, and there's those laser beam chest belt guys. I have no idea what they are. I mean, look at them. What even are they? Very strange. But this is two potentially incredibly dangerous animals that are attacking us, if heartless or even animals. So we need to be careful with them, and we need to pick and choose our moments. I would probably have used drive form if I'd had more of it, but instead I got in the middle, started doing air combos and hoped for the best. Kind of hoping for reaction commands off those laser tower monster men. But right now all my team is dead, it's just me, and I've got decent life, but this is Critical Mode, and Critical Mode can go bad pretty quick. There was the quick time I was waiting for. That is a great move. So powerful, so damaging, but use a bit of magic, keep my distance, because I don't want to get one-shot by these fellas. They've got a lot more range than you think they would have. And there's Donald alive. Now that Donald's alive, hopefully you can help. There's Goofy, and we can finish this up. But they're a very dangerous enemy, those. So that might have been a good room to use the Trinity limit in. I might have been able to kill everything there, because there was a ton of enemies. I don't know, maybe it wouldn't have pulled them all in, which brings me to a combination that you won't see me doing this, which is a fucking awesome idea. I don't know if it's any good when you do it, but Magnet into Trinity limit could be really, really good. Because I know Magnet in Birth by Sleep pulls people into almost every awesome move, so feasibly, shouldn't this one work the same? I'm sure somebody will let me know in the comments if it's worthwhile. But here's the Antichamber. There's not too much to do in this place, in the Land of Dragons. I always found that kind of a little bit sad when I played. Always made me a crestfallen Kingdom Hearts player, because I always wanted something more. But here are the snipers, and they might have a more technical name, but they have big lasers, they fire crazy crossbow rounds at you. They're essentially the nobody who's themed over Zigbar, or very close to Zigbar, because they have a lot of his tendencies. The reaction command that you get when they fire those projectiles is so insanely powerful, I cannot recommend it enough. But they're not an enemy that's going to give you too much trouble unless you get unlucky. You get unlucky and they hit you with anything, it does big damage. You get lucky or you get skillful and you knock it back and they take massive damage. So it's a very fair fight, and I'm a big fan of fair fights. I wish all games were fair, but I appreciate that some aren't, and I appreciate that some games are made better by their lack of balance. But still, I am kind of old-fashioned in my pursuit of a fair situation. But there was a shield for Goofy, which means that one of these is probably going to be a staff for Donald, or I hope it is. A lot of chests in this place. Could have hidden them a little bit better, or made them a little bit trickier to get, but this is Kingdom Hearts 2, where you essentially turn your brain off for most of it. And it's still somehow fun, which just goes to show the testament of what they've managed to build here. And it just makes me so excited for Kingdom Hearts 3, even though, you know, we could be waiting a long time. That being said, there was something that perhaps hinted that Kingdom Hearts 2 was going to be coming out in 2015, and it was the voice actor for Goofy who said that the game was going to be coming out this year. And maybe Kingdom Hearts will come out this year. You know, maybe they've got it under wraps, they're being really quiet about it, being kind of coy, and then they're going to release it on everybody when the market's not expecting it, and maybe it stands a massive chance of doing really well. Because this series has ravenous fans that have been waiting an incredibly long time for the next numbered sequel, so they're probably going to be lapping it up rather eagerly. So thank you very much for watching, and you take care now.